Hello, beautiful ones. How are you? Calista here with a new feature here on YouTube. I felt very inspired this morning to share my spiritual practice with you because a lot of my own spiritual practice I don't share on videos or in courses or in books. And I've been asking how I can serve more. A question maybe that you ask as part of your spiritual path and your journey. Maybe you ask that question. And so I was very inspired this morning to start sharing more of what I do off camera, off social media, away from books and courses. And after listening and watching this video, if you find it has supported or inspired or empowered you, do let me know in the comments because that will help me to continue to show up every week and share what is in the flow. And I'm going to put it out there to come and join and be with you here on the channel. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, if this is your first video, hello and welcome. Do subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to know when new videos are delivered. There is a new meditation or journey or activation every Thursday to support your spiritual discovery and path of spiritual ascension. And then these more personal vlogs sharing my own practice are going to come out every Monday, friends. So I do hope that you can come and join me every Monday. So in today's practice, and these videos, by the way, are not going to be long. In today's practice, I didn't have much time. And for those of you that don't know me, as well as running a business and writing books and leading courses, angel healing and unicorn healing, those were two modalities that are continuing to grow and grow. I also have 3 young children. I live in the country, in Scotland. For the last few days, we haven't had water. There's been a lot going on. And so the window for this my spiritual practice was quite small today, but nevertheless, we make it work, don't we? Whatever life is throwing at us, however busy we are, to show up every day for us, for our spiritual practice is really a gift that we're given to all. And so how it showed up, how it developed for me today was literally sitting outside, lighting some nice incense, drinking a cup of cacao, and after enjoying that, just sitting in stillness. And we've recently cut back a lot of the garden, which has opened up to a beautiful big holly tree and a big Douglas fir tree, and I really felt their energy coming in. And as I was sitting there in silence, we were communicating, but it was beyond the mind, and there was flashes, and there was downloads, and there was impressions, and I got very much a strong sense of this one particular holy tree is a guide for me at the moment, and how much we can have spiritual guides, allies, and guardians that come in literally for a meditation or one singular practice or a week, month, years, and how, just again, just always to be in the moment, in the moment, in the moment, to not have anything that's really orchestrated or set out, especially when it comes to our spiritual practice, just to be in the moment and to be in the flow. And so after having this knowing, I got the sense of, in order to, and this is really for all of us, in order to advance more in our spiritual path, it's really important to keep our vessel, to keep our body as pure as we can. And that's just not it's just not about what we're drinking or what we're putting in our body to eat, but it's also what we're listening to, what we're watching, where we're putting our energy, the environment that we live in, really prioritizing and asking ourselves, how can I purify this vessel on a daily basis, or just whenever you're inspired? and just following through. So that was really the leading question today. And I was shown that I really need to knock out a particular behavior, which is after putting the kids to bed, instead of, putting on Netflix, for example, and watching an episode of something, instead of doing that, to actually do something that is another spiritual practice, a meditation, something that's nurturing for my body, that's helping to allow my energy to move through me without putting my energy in Netflix and allowing everything that's coming, all the programs, because they're called programs for a reason, allowing them to program my consciousness, rather, like put myself in the seat of my own consciousness and experience in life, rather than allowing the TV and everything to impress upon me. And so that was cool. And so I received that. And that's something that's been downloaded a few times, but I've just been ignoring it. And I know that now is the time. So I really accepted that. And after accepting that, as ever on our path, every time we sit with ourselves, that will lead to something else and something else and something else. And if you don't have a consistent spiritual practice, then perhaps start. Maybe this video is a wee inspiration or a reminder, or a little call to say, come on, come back to yourself, come back to your spiritual practice. So after asking that question, what's going to best purify my body at this time so that energy can move freely and there's no blockages? And because, of course, that is our path of spiritual ascension, isn't it? As we're growing and as we're expanding, we understand that we are everything. We are God. And this video is titled, You Are God. There is nothing that is separate from us. And so I found myself going into a practice using a mantra and using a mudra that reiterates this. And it is this: me and God, God and me are one. So every time I'm repeating this mantra, which has its roots in Kundalini Yoga, and it was adapted a little bit in my book, The Female Archangels, with an angel of clarity, the angel of the crown, Archaea Clarity. She was inspiring in today's flow, every time saying those words, to touch the thumb, which represents the ego, which represents the mind, touching that with each finger. So I'm reiterating me and God. So the ego and God, the human self and God, whatever I believe, and even the beliefs, everything that is separate to God, I'm bringing that into unity. I'm bringing that into wholeness. And from that place, I am pure, no matter the practices, all of the other, no TV, lots of water, exercising, all of that. It really does help to expand our vibration. But at the very core, having that knowingness that we are God. We are God. Not the egoic self, but our true self, our pure awareness, our pure consciousness. So this is what this mantra and this mudra was doing, and I found myself just naturally flowing. Again, like our spiritual practice does, one thing leads to the other. And so as I was sitting here saying, with my eyes closed outside, me and God, God and me are one, I found that a little fly came and sat on my chin. And then my mind went from me and God, God and me are one, to what if that's an insect that's going to bite me? And then my mind went from, I can't be doing the mantra, I need to shoo away this fly. And then I realized in the moment when I came back, okay, That is God. That little bug was God, is God, showing me the many distractions and the diversions that come up when we sit with ourselves, when we sit with our for and as being our spiritual practice. And so, okay, thank you. Thank you for showing me that, God. As Ram Dass would say, the fly was God in drag, just showing up. And then I had another little creepy crawly that was crawling up here, and I thought, right, whatever that bug does, it's absolutely okay. Me and God, God and me are one. Continued my practice, and then surrendered that. And then something else started to rustle, which turned out to be my cat. Me and God, me and God, God and me are one. Then I was feeling these beings coming out of the trees, and there was so much that was going on. So many diversions, so many distractions. And this is why I wanted to share this video with you, friends, because not just in our daily life, but also in our spiritual practice, when we create these pauses throughout our day to sit with ourself, to sit with our greater consciousness, for whatever reason, for me, my spiritual practice is all about how can I serve? How can I serve God as God? Not the ego, I am God, but allowing God, allowing pure consciousness to move through me. This is my path, this is my dharma. How can I do that? And for me at the moment, it is to witness all the diversions and the distractions and still remain constant, to still show up, even if there's flies and creepy crawlies, even if there are beings saying, come over here and play with me, rather than doing that practice, like just sitting, staying consistent, being in the energy with myself, which allows over time, the more you show up to your spiritual practice, the more these things, because of course, whatever happens in your spiritual practice is just reflecting what happens in your daily life. But the more you sit with yourself, the more that you can easily realize what these different things are representing. And sometimes in your spiritual practice, it'll be belief systems that are coming up. I even had, when I was sitting doing the mantra, being the mantra, I need to record this. I need to share this with other people. Oh, and then what about this? And what about this? And then before I knew it, the mind was way over here. And I was allowing the mind. I wasn't in my practice anymore. I was in the mind. And so just being aware. For you, your spiritual practice might have a different reason. What is that? What is your main intention of your current spiritual practice? Let me know in the comments right now. But for me, it's about service. It's about unbecoming everything that I'm not. Being able to show up and be consistent amid all the diversions and the distractions of life. And just finding the humor in that, just being a little bit easy. I think sometimes we are so hard on ourselves. Part of the unicorn healing modality is we set up a 30-day practice. Our spiritual practice becomes sitting with different types of unicorns, different types of lineages. We do different things. Sometimes it's silence, sometimes it's dance. But sometimes a lot of people struggle with that consistency to show up every day. And even in that in and of itself is showing us how in the bigger picture, we don't show up for our dreams. We don't show up for what's important. We let the excuse or the stories drive our life. We let however the mind's been entertained over here by stories and hype and drama, We're letting that drive rather than our pure awareness, which is behind the mind. It's behind the stories, it's behind the drama, it's behind everything that was coming out the trees and the flies and my cat, and it was just the witness. Just the witness. Me and God, God and me are one. And the more that I was doing it and the more that I was witnessing, the more that I was feeling that. It became less about the mantra, less about the mudra, and more just being in the flow, being the oneness, which then allows our energy to move through us. And we can hold more and we can deliver more and we can receive more in that. That was like the essence, the kernel of that greater message today, which was all about purifying. So I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave you here with that, friends. Let me know if that has been of any help at all, that those musings there on my spiritual practice. But let me know what yours is right now. And perhaps if it feels good, if it resonates with you, asking, how can you purify your vessel so that your energy, God's energy, all that is, all that you are, can move through you easily as you allow yourself to expand, as you allow yourself to ascend, and all of the little niggles. Because this is what I've been finding lately as well, is it's less about processing, it's less about healing, and it's more just about showing up, being consistent with your practice, as all of what is naturally coming up to the surface, memories, attachments, things, and toxicity, whatever it is, it's just gently coming up to go out of you, and it's in that time that it's happening, and there's nothing for you to do other than just continue to show up. But let me know your thoughts on that, friends, and I'll be back here next week if this has been of value. So do let me know. Come and subscribe if you haven't already. Like and share the video, and I will be back hopefully next week. So much love.